Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look here at ICP, see what's going on. Got a lot of requests for this one. Sorry I haven't been able to cover it a lot lately. Dealing with a lot of stuff. Easy way to understand it is that this coin has been subpar lately. It keeps establishing lower highs, lower lows in the overall sense here, more so on the macro, and is fairly disappointing. But there is a decent chunk of liquidation. I feel like this lower level liquidation has been swept. If I recall correctly, the low $9 range was kind of that area of interest, and definitely something maybe worth considering here. So we're going to take a look at some validations, invalidations, support and resistance levels, and a handful of other things that are super relevant when you're trading coins like this right now. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, comment below. Thanks again for always hitting the like button. As those who are, part of my community, consistently, watching, deeply appreciate you. Thank you so much. Quick little thank you as well to my community here. I took some nice profits on our link trade here, about 20% round up a little bit there in 2 days, and our long from Bitcoin at about 103,750. Upwards about 106,750. So cut a nice little 30%, 29% there from that. What we're going to be looking at here, though, is it worth taking a trade with ICP or anything else? And if you've been watching my channel, or maybe you're part of my community, you'll know ICP is a favored coin of mine to trade, but lately not so much. Okay, and we're going to take a look at some important factors here, kind of recognize where we're at. First things first, we look at liquidation and get perspective on where the price action may go next. With us being super low, super close to this 885 range, there's a decent chance we do see that level get hit again. Again, just because there's so much leverage there, the price may come back down to that level. I know it seems crazy and weird, but the more you try to take longs at these ranges, the more likely you are to get swept, just because these are all high leverage trades. Okay, so don't be another statistic. Be one of these guys that has a stop loss a liquidation event at under $8. Okay, that implies that your leverage amount is appropriate and you're not getting outrageously high with your leverage. Okay, if you're using anything more than 5x leverage, you're doing it wrong. Okay, again, it's easy for me to say, of course, but I've got hundreds of traders underneath me, and having traded for a very long time, over 20 years, trial and erroring a lot of different things, you have the most sustainability at 5x or lower leverage. Okay, anything higher than that, which even 10x, I only 10x Bitcoin, for example. When I do that, I work within ranges, always have a stop loss in place. My stop loss is like dramatically far away from any potential liquidation event. That is never even a question. Okay, so please, if you're risking leverage liquidation right now in a trade, then you're doing it wrong. Okay, easier said than done. I get it, but your risk tolerance should not be able to be okay with liquidation. It's just not okay, right? It's 100% loss. That's dumb. You don't do that. Anyways, a stop loss should be your friend, not your enemy. Having said that, we can see 885, just say 890, down as low as 790. We got a solid $1 range here of high to middle, maybe even some low leverage folks here too as well. Okay, so just begin. Don't be another statistic. Don't feed the monster. It's just not appropriate. We got a heavy amount of shorts here in play right now. Liquidation delta is super high to the downside, implying further downside makes more sense. You don't take a long into this, really. The only time you take a long into this is when there's a lot of confluence. We've broken our range with establishing higher highs and higher lows with a retest of a specific resistance level, which I don't think's happened yet, but we're going to double check. All that being said, though, liquidation delta too high for too long can see a reversal. We've been this high for about 2 days straight. If we see this all red here in the next couple of days, then there might be a cause for the price to shoot up. But again, a lot of that is going to hinge on Bitcoin's success. And if you see, I don't know if you noticed, but Bitcoin's doing pretty well today. Half the reason why our long position's in profit, right? And again, it has a lot of liquidation left to the upside too here. So to give you perspective, 110, 115, there's a solid chance we see that range here in the relative near future for Bitcoin. Okay? Statistically, it's favorable. That being said, we should see ICP recover, right? But how the hell is it still stuck in this lower range if Bitcoin's doing well? Why is that? Okay. Well, a lot of it hinges on the simple fact that Bitcoin dominance is increasing again. Basically, just money flowing away from altcoins going into Bitcoin. Because as Bitcoin price goes up and dominance goes up, alts typically will go down. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. They're not like hemorrhaging per se, but they're kind of drawing dead. They're not shooting up as fast as they typically would. So we got too much money in Bitcoin right now. That's the easy way to understand it. Anyways, that's not super relevant because that doesn't necessarily factor in here completely. The truth is there's just so much resistance or a lot of selling pressure at the $10 range that it's best to presume that's going to work as a resistance level for us. So let's go ahead and take this guy here, let's draw it out. 975 I see a lot of confirming factors here. Okay, and what I mean by that is if you take a close look here, let me go ahead and remove some of these previous levels. You can see pretty clear as day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times that level has been tested to the downside and inevitably broke. Okay, so it took 13 attempts to break through that level. Do you really think the first time to come right back is going to happen? Probably not, but you got to keep in mind too, this liquidation range here has been, a pretty good chunk of it has been swept. Granted, there's still a lot left, of course, because we got late longs that are just feeding the beast. But the truth is, we swept a majority of that liquidation. A lot of times you'll see things happen in threes. So we got this, these different waves here, right? We got power of 3, but the price action is probably likely to sweep up here soon. Okay, so I'm not giving you hopium here by any stretch, but just letting you know that this last little leg down could be the last leg down. So from a spot bag perspective, it's a good consideration, but from a leverage play, there's no reason to take a leverage trade into a key level resistance. Okay, so just know 975 is that resistance for us for the moment. We're under 50 on the RSI, bearish divergence. Money flow index is low, not good. MACD, stochastic, all swinging down. There's 0 reasons to consider a long position right now. We've got the 200-day SMA hanging out right there with the price action too. That could be a new resistance range for us. I don't like to propose that moving averages are resistances. They just kind of let us know the overall trend. And right now we're below that trend, and it's not good. The last 200 days we're below the average trend line. Okay, so generally those are all unfavorable. So the macro is abysmal. What's the 4-hour tell us? Well, roughly the same thing. We're below every single moving average. Until we close above the 50-day SMA, I have no cause for consideration to take a long position with this coin. Even at that point, I'm probably going to be very hesitant. Okay, so just please understand, if you're just looking and you're itching to take a trade right now, it's probably a bad idea. Again, there's going to be multiple times when you're going to hear me say this. You're going to look at the charts later, and the price has gone higher, right? But from a an efficacy standpoint, or just like a what you should do in this situation kind of scenario, there's no reason to take a trade. I can't legitimately tell you as a professional trader that this is going to be a good trade. Okay, even if you get lucky, I hope you don't, because if you do, it's going to create a false sense of reality, and you're going to think that that's how trading works. And that's the problem with majority of other traders in the industry. They don't really they don't learn from their mistakes, and they seem to think that luck has a lot to do with their analysis. Truth is they don't at all. Anyways, conversation for another day, but when we look at the 4-hour time frame, we're under 50 on the RSI, also not good. Stochastic swinging up, that's normal. I don't really concern myself with that. Even though MACD is converging, that's not a good sign. You don't take a MACD convergence into a bunch of significant bearish divergences. It makes no sense. Future reference, I'm going to update our playout chart, post that on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. It's available here for you in case you're kind of curious about what's going on. It's all available for you there. I kind of provide that all in one place. Discord, probably a better place to find too, by the way, because there's obviously not just signals here, but we got a pretty awesome interactive community here, and it's a ton of fun. But truth is, I'm going to tell you straight if you're asking stupid questions or you're in a bad situation because you did something stupid. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because somebody asked me earlier, hey, I've got like a 25x cross leverage short with Bitcoin at 103. What do I do? The short answer is to close it. But if you have good risk tolerance, you shouldn't be stressed about it. You should not be worrying about losing 80% of your portfolio from one trade. You're doing it wrong. All right, anyways, I'm sorry. I go in circles with my recommendations or my best practice just because I get tired of people coming to my community needing me to recover their portfolio when all they did was listen to some other stupid, idiot online that's posting results with high leverage, high risk trades, and they seem to think that that's the norm. Folks, that is wrong. I'd love to change that. Unfortunately, it doesn't really happen because YouTube hates my my algorithm, or the algorithm for YouTube doesn't like my videos. I'm not sure what it is, but I appreciate you nonetheless. All the more reason to hit the like button, folks. Hourly time frame, Ichimoku Cloud confirming we are not in good shape. Do not take a long position right now. Good news is here's a slight consolation. We're establishing range-bound activity, so you can kind of see this range here. If the price action continues to range and then break free from this range, we may be in pretty good shape. Okay. Again, this is how trend reversals occur. You have a descending trend line. Price action works itself into a basically a horizontal trend line or horizontal channel, and then when it breaks free, it usually bullishly backtests its local high. So hypothetically, we backtest 940, we move on our way up, but don't let this get you twisted. 975 is going to be a lot of resistance there. We've got a lot of confluence here telling us why you don't take a trade yet. Okay, so just know that. All right. Anyways, that's all I got. I'll post a playout chart here shortly. Hope you learned something today. Comment below if you did. If not, that's cool too. hopefully, eventually, one of these videos will speak to you. Have yourself a phenomenal rest of your day. Look forward to seeing the next one. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.